So Avenged Sevenfold have come out with a new song called Mad Hatter. This is going to be released on a new EP that's coming out later this month. The name of the EP has escaped my mind. It's something Rain, Black Rain maybe. Yeah, they're releasing a new EP. It's coming out later this month, and they've released a song off of it called Mad Hatter. Now the rest of the track list, they haven't said what it's going to be, but they have said that all the other tracks are not new, they're just songs from their previous catalogues. So Mad Hatter is the only new thing we get. It was also recorded for the new Call of Duty Black Ops game, which Avenged Sevenfold has done previously in the past for the Call of Duty games, and it is usually tied in with EPs. So yeah, Mad Hatter is the only new song we get. They are apparently working on a new album, so the follow-up to The Stage, which I'm going to probably guess will come out next year probably. But until then, all we're going to get is Mad Hatter from this EP. Now, it's a pretty decent length. It's nothing too long and it's nothing too short. It's 5 minutes 9 seconds, which is a pretty decent length of a song. Now, Avenged Sevenfold don't really ever do any wrong when it comes to doing music. They have a great guitarist, they have great rhythms, they have a good bass player, they have great drummers on board. They do some really interesting and intriguing lyrics, and Matt has a very unique and pretty good voice as well. So whatever they do is usually pretty solid and pretty good, and that is the same with Mad Hatter. It is a very good track and it has a lot in it and they offer a lot, but it's nothing that special or what Avenged Sevenfold truly actually are. Avenged Sevenfold always, in my opinion, push the boundaries of music. Whenever they come out with a new album, it's always completely different to what they've done previously, and most of the time it's pretty different to what any band has ever done. They always have something new, something interesting, something never heard before. And that's a big reason why I like Avenged Sevenfold. Mad Hatter's not like that, and it's been the same with the other songs they've released on the EPs. They usually sound similar to the album that's come out of that time period. So Not Ready to Die and 4 AM and things like that all sound pretty much like Nightmare. This song doesn't sound really like The Stage, it sounds more like Hail to the King. And I have seen other people say it sounds like Hail to the King, so it's not just me. There's some probably subtle Stage elements to it, but overall it's definitely Hail to the King. It sounds like it came from Hail to the King. Sounds like it would really fit in well with the album Hail to the King. And yeah, so there's no unique sound, there's nothing new and inventive about Mad Hatter. It's a sound that's been done before, and it's a pretty basic one because Hail to the King is obviously a copy and paste of 80s styles, so it's not even really new and inventive. Matt has explained the sound of the song to be dark alternative, and I guess it is dark, it is progressive. Avenged Sevenfold usually is, so the song does go through a lot of layers and variety as the song keeps going and going, and obviously you get a good solo from Sinister Gates. The song was recorded a while ago because at the minute Matt has blood blisters in his throat apparently, so that kind of just goes to show that the song was probably recorded a fair bit before that. So that's it. So obviously you can't really say this is going to be the sound of the new album because I'm sure they're going to give a lot of time and a lot more effort to this new song, Like, this song is just for a game, that's it. And yeah, getting into the song Manhattan, it's nothing special, as I say. It basically just sounds like something off Hail to the King. It's got maybe a bit of the stage elements to it, but it's nothing new, it's nothing inventive. Matt's voice is good, the riffs are sound amazing, they're technical, they're hard hitting, the chorus sounds very different to what the riff is. The second verse is different to the first verse, and you have a change after the second chorus, and then you have Sin do a solo, which there's two varieties to the solo. He has a certain style for the first part, and then he kind of changes the style for the second part of the solo. And Matt does sing over it, pretty much all of it. I think he only kind of lets up on the odd occasion, which I'm not too keen on. Obviously it sounds like there's a lot going on at the same time, because you've got the singing and the lyrics and the solo, and then all the backing instruments. So there's a lot going on at once, but it does kind of drown the solo out. It's hard to listen while someone's singing, and if someone's singing and speaking, you're trying to kind of hear what they're saying, which means a lot of focus is then gone from listening to the guitar, which I'm not too keen on that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to really say. The song sounds like it just come off Hail to the King. There's no unique sound to it. The song goes through multiple changes, and Sin has a good solo. There's two different styles to the solo. Matt sings over it for the most part, which, as I said, I don't really like. A lot of changes. It's a pretty lengthy song. Another thing, the song kind of sounds a bit tinny to me. It just sounds like all the cymbals of the drums are turned way too high. It's not really clear, at least through what I listened to it on, which was my TV. Listening on YouTube or Spotify. No, it was Spotify I listened to it on, as well as YouTube. And the quality doesn't really sound that clean and crisp. It's very tinny, and it kind of distorts the overall sound because of all that tinny, high cymbal kind of noises. It really kind of affects the overall sound of everything else which is actually going on, and it kind of overshadows all of that. So that's not good. But Avenged Sevenfold usually has that fault. Like when I listened to the stage, the volume was very low in the mix. It wasn't loud and it wasn't that clear. It was very quiet. Listening to the stage through headphones, at least, I have to listen to it through speakers and turn it really high, unless it's just way too quiet and I can't be bothered to listen to it. It has to be loud. Even Nightmare, the sound quality was not really hard hitting and still quite dull. So they've always had the problem with sound quality. I don't know why they don't fix it. They're a massive band. I'm sure they can afford some very good technicians and mixers and everything. But for rating the song, obviously it's Avenged Sevenfold. The singing's great. There's a lot of techniques and talent. There's so many changes and evolutions to the song. It's a good solo. There's two different styles to it, and it lasts a while, so everything is there. The drumming's great, but this is Avenged Sevenfold, so I have to kind of rank it for what Avenged Sevenfold overall is. And Avenged Sevenfold is always new, inventive, changing the scene of music every single time they come out with something new, because no one else sounds like it. No one else does anything like what they do from album to album, and this is just something that sounds like what they've done before. And as I say, the sound quality is not great, and Matt sings over the solo, which I found a bit... And you can tell they definitely didn't take a lot of time on this. You can tell it was basically just like, we are Avenged Sevenfold, we are talented, we don't really have to think much about this. We'll just write a song and it will be good because they are talented. As for the stage, they're talented, but you can see they seriously put a lot of force and effort into it. So rating this, I'd probably give it a 7. It's obviously definitely above a 6. It's definitely above average, and 7. It's good. It is a good track. Pretty much everything Avenged Sevenfold does, City of Evil and onwards at least, is absolutely outstanding and amazing. But obviously this just isn't what Avenged Sevenfold is capable of. It's still full of talent, it's still Avenged Sevenfold, but it's not what they can basically do. So it's nothing great, amazing, masterpiece. It's good. So a 7. But it's still better than all the other 7s I rate. The bands that I've rated 6, 7, even 8. This song still even offers way more than they do. So then you probably say, well, why don't I give it an 8, an 8.5 or a 9 if it's better than things I've categorised in a 7 along with this song, and bands in 8, which I've given higher than this song when you're saying this song is better than them. Because I'm ranking this, as I say, in the rest of Avenged Sevenfold. For Avenged Sevenfold, this is really poor. I can't rate it any higher, because then it'll just be on par with all the rest of the Avenged Sevenfold things I've reviewed at the moment. And I'll just be saying it's good enough when clearly it isn't, because Avenged Sevenfold can do more. So it is also a 7 because of what Avenged Sevenfold has done previous to this. So yeah, it's a good track, but it's nothing new and it's nothing very special. But it's still a great listen, and it's still brimming with talent. So I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend you give it a listen. There's a lot there. It's a great song, but you'll probably get bored quite quickly because it's just the one song. And if you listen to that over and over and over again, because that's all there is, it will get boring quite quickly. And it's nothing new, so it doesn't have the lasting appeal which pretty much everything else Avenged Sevenfold has brought out. Because there is so much diversity, so much to listen to, so much to get into your mind and get used to it, all these things they're doing. This is a bit easy and a bit bland compared to what they do. So it'll be a good few listens, definitely. But it's not going to be something that is, seen as a masterpiece in the Avenged Sevenfold catalogue. But it's still Avenged Sevenfold, therefore it's still pretty damn brilliant compared to most. So that'll be that. So if you want to see more, please subscribe. If you like the video, leave a like. If you dislike, by all means, you can do that. I would just respect it if you were to leave a comment, just nicely saying why, so then I can see where I can improve. And if none of that, then just thank you for watching the video. And I hope to see you guys later. Bye.